People, they play scared under Conte. The guy is constantly running back and down the line. He's there and just going bananas. What's that to do with it? Listen.
You're like a giraffe.
You're very tall.
I'm very tall. He's tall.
How tall are you?
Very tall
6'3"?
compared to me.
Compared to Mike, yeah,
6'2"?
you're very tall.
That's
6'2"?
disrespectful.
6'2"?
How many is that
How tall
in
were your parents?
meters?
My dad was 5'11".
Well, how tall was your mom? That's
5'6",
tall. 5'11"
5'6".
is not tall.
5'6".
So Mike is
Compared
tall.
to me.
5'11". I'm 5'11".
Bro, I'm tall.
Yeah, but
I'm taller than both my
fa-
Yeah, but
parents.
he's
father-
6'2".
Yeah, but his father's generation probably were all like 5'5".
Yeah, but how did he 6'2" and your dad's 5'11"?
Oh, it's easy.
guys were
I'm
like
6
Vikings.
feet. My dad's 5'8".
Bro, I'm taller than both my parents.
Yeah, but he's 5'8" now.
And what was he back then? In the 10?
They shrink, bro.
Yeah, but not that
Come on,
much.
Your grandpa was
5'9",
tall? Somebody
5'.
was tall.
My father was tall.
Your father's not tall. He's
5'11" is. I'm 6 feet.
I'm
That's 1 inch
5'11".
off.
It's not that much.
I think-
6 foot. 6 foot is tall.
It's 1 inch.
Nah, but
I'm
6 foot
taller than
sounds.
both my parents.
Yeah, but now
What does that mean?
they shrink.
Yeah, a little bit, not a whole foot, bro.
Yeah, what were you? You're probably like 7 foot.
Peter Cha-Cha.
Is this being recorded?
What is this bullshit? Is this IFTV or BMI?
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience
We're
with
back, baby.
IFTV. Antonio, I don't think we've ever had more requests to see your face than for today's episode.
For my face?
For your face.
He has it covered.
Too bad you have a mask.
You have it covered, but you know,
Revealed.
we've never, and I'm going to say it's never, had an episode that's more requested than this one right now. Every single thing has gone your way these past 2 days. And I know you're playing it calm, you're playing it cool. You're usually screaming on the top of your lungs, by the time you get here. And you've already given it to Peter and I in the group chat that we have. Before we get to you, Mike, how you feeling?
How I'm feeling?
How are you feeling? Yeah.
Feeling pretty good.
Always feels good because regardless, his team, one of his team is going to win. It's either Roma
Uh-huh.
And if
or
they don't,
Inter.
I just flip to the next
Yeah,
one.
you just
So I'm
flip.
always feeling good.
It's all right.
What were you trying to do? Were you trying to like get at me or something?
No, not at all.
Oh, you're
I
just
just didn't. I
asking?
was just moving away from Antonio
Oh, okay.
for the time being.
It
That's
was
it.
definitely an interesting round. I didn't expect a lot
What
of
did you
the
get? How
results.
much did you pay for a stupid looking haircut?
I just
$5?
did my hair up. No,
$5?
they paid me for this.
Tell him how much. Tell him how much.
I don't. No, this is not. I
Tell
just
him how
put my
much.
hair
Tell him how
down.
much. Just tell
But
him
this is
how
not the
much.
haircut.
I know, but just
just
tell him
put
how
my hair
much.
down. It was $25.
You got a big
But I have my hair usually up. I just kept it
Imagine
down.
paying
It's raining
$25
out.
for this.
How much you pay for your haircut?
I have people paying me to go to cut the hair.
Ah.
Our barber actually wants to cut both of your guys'
Oh,
hair.
really?
He wants to do an episode one time of us talking while
During
he
a
does all of
video.
our hair.
All right,
Yeah.
that sounds good to me.
Would you do it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's the name? What is your barber?
His name is Sydney. He wants to come here and do it.
Sydney.
Sydney. He's from Brazil.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
He'll watch the Serie A.
You
He
scared?
yeah, he likes it.
He
Yeah.
better like AC Milan.
No, he doesn't like AC.
What is he like? Juventus?
No, he doesn't like
No,
anything.
he's a
He's just
general.
Brazilian
He's
guy.
a flipper like me.
Peter, how are you?
I'm all right.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I think we've come to a realization that there's not much more to feel at this point.
It took you this
Yeah.
long?
That was tough.
No, I mean like, no, meaning like,
32.
Can't get any,
meaning like there's 6 more games. It's over.
can't get any worse
Well,
than that.
No,
right?
well, I mean, it could get worse. You could be a Milan fan and be 25 points below and
25
and not
below
have
us.
20 and not have 40 million in your bank account come August. But I mean,
I have to say something.
it's all right.
Oh my God, you think I'm gonna cry for that? No.
No, I'm just saying 40 million next year is okay. We get Hakimi, we get a couple more additions. Next year will be interesting.
Guys, this is loser stalking because that's what they do. No, they said, okay, we have to just find a way to stick the knife on those guys. They've been winning, and here we are with this stupid loser of Conte. What the hell are you guys keeping that imbecile still on the bench? The guy's good on acting. I'm telling you. I don't know if you. I text you guys. I said the guy. He probably went to NYU acting school.
Scholarship? Did he get a full scholarship?
Yo, he's good. He looks almost, he's crying and all that stuff. That guy doesn't give a damn. The guy does not give a rat shit about Inter. The guy's there for the money
What
only.
are you talking about?
1000%. He doesn't give a damn.
We're gonna get into everything, and I know there's a lot of topics. There's Inter that drew that I know you really want to talk about. There's question marks, a lot from the Inter fans actually about Antonio Conte, if he's gonna remain as the manager. There are already reports that he might not remain. We got Lazio who lost. We've got Juventus that lost. The top three all losing or dropping points this weekend. But Atalanta continuing to push up. So we got a lot to talk about. We have Champions League draws that we're going to talk about. We've got transfer market. We have controversy that we're going to have to call out for certain people.
We got quotes. We got a bunch of stuff.
There's a lot of content that we're going to need to get into today. That we're going to need to take our teeth into today. But I want to remind everybody and let everybody know, July 20th, mark your calendars. We have a merch drop. The next one is coming. We'll pop some pictures on the screen right now. There's a link in the bio so that you could sign up for the mailing list and get a 1 hour early release so that you can't say that you didn't have enough time to get it.
Exactly.
And also, at the end of this podcast, like always, there's going to be an extended audio version with a Q&A from everybody that had questions on Twitter. And let me tell you, there are lots of questions, and they're mostly for Antonio and for people wanting to hear your opinion on so many different matters. So Spotify, Apple, Google Play, anywhere you listen to your podcast, there's going to be an extended, after this video is over, there will be an exclusive Q&A. Let's jump into the first game, and the one that everybody wants to hear from you, Antonio. On our scoreboard after this match, everyone said we need Antonio's reaction. You did send us a little video, but Milan come from behind, beating Juventus, scoring 4 goals, 4-2. How
Listen,
do you feel?
the way how long have you known me so far?
Too long.
All right. So here's the deal. I said a tie or Juventus win, not because I said it because this is what I do. Okay. I will never
Fine
call
game.
AC Milan win. So, but I knew on the back.
confident.
I knew it. that
You
there
knew
was-
it, but you didn't
I
say it.
respect that.
I knew it.
How do you respect that?
At least-
Anybody could say that about anything.
But I believe in Antonio.
I knew Lecce
believe
was going to win
Antonio.
2-1, and I knew they were going to score in the 72nd
I
minute.
felt the energy from
I didn't say it.
Antonio.
I didn't say it, but
on
I
the
knew it.
2-0,
I believe
You
you.
respect
on
it.
the
Thank you.
2-0, you
Perfect.
can ask my colleagues over there commentating. I said, listen,
My colleague.
it can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, those are 2 mistakes of Romagnoli. Romagnoli, for me, is not an AC Milan player. The guy doesn't belong not even on the bench of Juventus or Inter. You can actually have it, Pete.
He's the
Thank you.
future. for
Keep
the
going.
Azzurri.
So, 2 major mistakes of Romagnoli, and Juventus is up to nothing. I mean, one more you need to know. Okay? And that guy has been placed on the Italian national team. You see, this is, when the time comes to be critical about AC Milan, I'm the first one. I'm not into the pocket of anybody like you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the way it is. So when the penalty was given to us, I said, okay, this is going to start some trouble. Okay? And then sure enough,
So it wasn't a penalty?
it was a
Oh,
penalty.
okay.
1,000%.
Oh, start some trouble that's going to...
It's going to
trouble
start
to
some trouble
Juventus.
for Juventus.
That's a penalty?
It was a penalty. It was 1,000% penalty.
Against Juventus, it's a penalty.
Yeah, okay. So, and Bonucci was complaining. What was he complaining about it? That imbecile. That guy's an imbecile.
What happens if it hits
He's a
off the person
backstopper,
from
first of all.
before?
He stabbed the Juventus on the back when he came to AC Milan. Then he started to cry like a little baby, taking me back, taking me back. So they took him back, the stupid loser. And then he caused the penalty. They called it, they look at the penalty, they give it the penalty. The guy didn't have to stay 3 minutes or 5 minutes to look at the stuff. As soon as he saw it, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So we got 2-1, and then 2-2, and then 3-2, and then it could have been 6.
Man.
It
I
could
don't
have
know
been
about
at
6.
least 6.
Well, you scored, I think, 3 goals in 6 minutes?
5
Was it
minutes.
5 minutes. Credit to you guys. You did. You really showed more
credit
character.
Sarri, because Sarri on the
Okay.
2-0, you're 62 minutes, you're winning 2-0, okay? And instead of just starting to shore up your midfield and maybe reinforce the rear end of Juventus, no, you just you make the change. You're taking Pjanic out, and then you're putting all of those
Yeah, I don't understand that.
losers. You take Quadraro out.
No,
How
it's
do you do that?
I mean, it was a complete blackout from the team on display. And I think last week I was criticized for saying that De Ligt, followed by Dybala, are the 2 most important players for Juventus. And I think that today, I mean, not today, sorry. A couple days ago, we saw how important, I mean,
Listen.
Bonucci has literally made his career off playing alongside a better center back.
Because he gets
Bonucci
exposed when he's
Bonucci
not
has made
playing.
his career off playing next to Chiellini, off playing next to Barzagli, off playing next to somebody else. Anytime he's had to play against somebody else, play alongside, he's horrible.
But Rugani didn't play bad. He
Rugani-
didn't play that
Rugani-
bad.
God, are you crazy?
Rugani was.
He almost
The
scored.
third goal's all his
He
fault.
almost guys at
scored
bay.
the goal over the
Yeah,
3-3.
okay,
He almost
okay.
scored with his head.
Yeah, he's got to learn how to defend
Yo, his
before he could
defense
go on
is
to score a goal.
really
No, there's a lot of players for Juventus that are just completely useless. And blackout, either way, that shouldn't happen. Alexandro, I don't know what he's doing, throwing that
pass.
ball away.
That
Danilo's
was beautiful. Oh, I love it. Perfect pass.
To Bonaventura.
To Bonaventura. Bonaventura, ball in the
Rebic.
middle. Rebic, what a goal,
Yeah,
man.
that was a nice shot.
Boom!
Danilo is, I mean, exactly what you would expect. He's as
No.
Danilo's. Never made any sense why they swapped Cancelo for him. Danilo's as useless as a freaking pet rock. The guy does nothing, doesn't provide anything for Juventus or do anything in any sense of the word.
Pep Rock. That was funny.
But he's a butcher, too. He's real nasty. He just goes very hard on the legs.
He
He doesn't go for the ball.
I expect him to be
But Juventus complete blackout, and again, I think you saw the real importance of a guy like De Ligt, who actually is a leader in the back, which Juventus do not have, and then up top, Higuain, who did nothing for 90 minutes, however long. I don't even know because he didn't show up, so I don't know how long he
took
played.
one shot.
Oh,
It was
very
a-
good, great job. You're number 9. You took one shot that nobody remembers. Dybala in that role. That should have been that he needed to have been there, but it's kind of sad that they're relying. I don't think it's as big of a deal as everybody's making it. To be honest, I'm not as concerned. Just
You know
to
why?
be honest,
Because Lazio lost before. They're-
exactly,
okay.
exactly. And I had a feeling. I was telling him, I was like, I think Inter's going to slip up too. I understand that these games happen, and I think that we understand the reasons why they happen. Not saying that they're acceptable, but we do understand. And also credit to Milan, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best games I've seen from you guys in the past 10 years. That I've watched Milan.
10 years.
Yeah,
Bro, that's
when they
a
won the
lot.
scudetto.
2011.
2010,
2011 they won.
2010, 2011, yeah.
Out of the 10 years.
So 9 years. It's one of the most memorable performances, at least.
What have Milan done?
Yeah, what's another performance that you're saying?
When last time they were, within 10 years is not a better performing match.
I'm
than
okay,
this.
so which one is
No,
it?
I'm asking.
I know, I said
haven't
it.
watched
You're
college for that
questioning
long,
it.
But I'm just saying.
Don't worry. Keep going. What on
That's-
with your
I was
with
giving-
your
kind of
BS? Go ahead.
I was giving you guys a compliment. I was
Hey.
giving Milan a
No
compliment.
compliments.
Doesn't sound-
We don't need compliments.
How is it
from
not
you
a
guys.
compliment?
Because
I
you
said that
said
they
10 years they had one performance. That's
I don't think there's
memorable.
any Milan fan out there that will not agree that they haven't been good for the past 9 to 10 years. I think every single Milan fan will agree. Either way, besides the point. If you find a better game that they did, okay, very good. And they showed a lot of heart and determination to get back into the match. And Rebic, again, proving so important. And Kessie was real good, too. Kessie, a player that's been a little,
Topsy-turvy.
yeah, he's a little bit confusing. And I think credit to Pioli. I know you've talked very bad about Pioli for a long time, saying that he's not a Milan coach, he's a loser, he's this, he's that. I think that there's an argument that Pioli has done a lot of good for Milan in stabilizing the team. They beat back-to-back Lazio and Juventus, the 2 top teams in Serie A. Since the break, they've been great. I don't remember how many points exactly that they've had. I think that there's an argument that Pioli should stay on for next season.
I don't think so. Pioli is an imbecile. Okay.
Jeez, you gotta
Pioli-
give him
What he
credit
just
where
did
it's
for
due.
you.
Pioli,
You gotta
if
give him some credit.
Pioli against Spal, he could have saved he could have he put AC Milan over the top. On the first half, he should have made the change for Ibrahimovic, and the AC Milan would have won that
Yeah,
game.
but you can't look at
He
particular-
waited until the last 15 minutes to put Ibrahimovic inside. So let's put that aside. Pioli, it's not an AC Milan coach. It will never be. So unfortunately now things are changing again for
Can I
AC
give you
Milan.
one stat real quick?
I don't care
Stefano
about
Pioli
stats.
is the
It's
first
just-
AC Milan coach to put 4 goals past Juventus since 1989.
Listen,
Yeah,
listen.
but they were in Organi in defense.
Listen, Juventus.
I'm just saying the
And
stat.
And Sandro
You got to play who you're in front of.
I gotta tell you
Juve,
something.
Juve's had bad teams since 1989 till
I gotta
today.
tell you
There's been some
something.
bad
If
teams.
this is going to be the Juventus and Inter that I'm going to be watching on the UEFA and the Champions League, you better brace yourself for a huge disappointment. So unless you guys are really wake up, you guys are going to be embarrassed.
What do you guys think about my Pioli?
Nah.
Should Pioli be sacked?
Pioli for me is not. I agree with Antonio, unbelievably, but he's not. He's not.
Just as bad as Pallet.
He's not. He's not a top coach.
No.
He's a coach where Milan is right now. He can be able to make sure the team stays level, that they're not losing by big scores, but he's not going to take you over the next level. It depends on what Milan wants.
Isn't there an argument that Milan has continued to change coaches and you have no stability? And maybe you have a guy right now who's providing you some stability. I'm not saying you're going to jump to the top, but what coach is going to take Milan to the top next year?
No, but you have to have a project.
Not Pioli.
This guy was not selected. This guy was put because
That's an emergency.
there
And
was
he's doing
nobody
good.
else.
And
And
he's doing
good.
good.
He's doing
And he's
okay.
doing
He's
good.
doing
That's
okay.
the
We
same
can't.
thing.
We're looking at only these last couple of games. How about the games that he was in charge over the long run? I mean,
he needs time to adapt. to
no,
his
but what
team.
I'm what I'm
Said
trying
no
to say is
signings.
he's not.
Like you guys,
He's not
you guys are
the
sold
guy.
out again on Sarri. Look at you. You're already starting to build up all your pride for Sarri again. Before you wanted Sarri out. Now all of a sudden Sarri is a good coach for you again, right?
How did he say that?
I'm talking to you.
I said I don't want Saudi out
Oh, you
because there's
don't
no
want
replacement for Saudi.
There is no replacement for
Yeah,
Sarri.
who are you gonna get?
Oh my God! Even Mike can do a better job than Sarri.
Nah.
I appreciate it.
Ibra said
What
that
are you
if he
trying to
was-
say?
Can I get the same salary or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Ibra said that if he was there since the start of the season, Milan would have won the scudetto.
And Ibra also said
What
for
do you
next
say?
season, if he's there, they'll win the
Listen,
Scudetto.
I believe it will have made a huge difference. I'm not sure about the Scudetto, but definitely maybe second place.
Whoa,
Man, second place.
Above Inter or below Inter?
Oh, much above Inter, but I don't even put them inside. Inter, they got lucky 4 or 5 games. And now they play the way they should be. They're supposed to be playing because that's what they all are, a bunch of losers.
I don't think so.
There's nothing there.
I think the difference is that Juventus gets away with a blackout because they're 10 points above,
Yeah.
and Inter gets crucified because
They're
that's
really
how
trailing.
the media works in Italy.
No,
They
it's
always
because-
they always
because
attack
you're
they
11
always
points
attack the
behind.
Inter. They
Trailing
always
already,
attack
though.
Inter. Whereas Juventus, they have the gap and they have
when Juventus
and
was
they
losing-
have
when
they
you
had
were
a
in first place-
Juventus let in 3 goals in 5 minutes, and
But
just
they were
because of
pushing.
where they're at, no one makes a big deal.
They
It's
have a
exactly
cushion,
what
though.
Inter.
It's not based on the team. It's because they won a bunch of. They're 9 points above everyone else. That's
Yeah,
why it's
but-
that big of a deal.
But what I'm trying to say is it's
Yeah.
still a danger, and the only thing that's lucky is that
Okay,
Lazio
but it's
sucks
not
and
as
Inter.
dangerous as Inter losing
can't do
points.
anything.
But
That's
it
why
would have
they're
been
more
it would have been a
ahead
big
of
deal
Inter.
if Lazio had won. If
Yeah.
Lazio had won, it would have been
And
a
these
big
teams,
deal.
they don't know
And
how to-
Inter had
Sure.
won. It would have been
Yeah,
a
It's
bigger
been a
deal.
problem for a while that they can't capitalize on certain
Yeah,
stuff.
but you can't get mad.
And that no, but I'm saying what we were trying to say is that we make a big deal out of Inter losing points,
'Cause they're
but
in
then
fourth
Scenario they're
doesn't
in,
matter.
though.
Doesn't
Of
matter.
course
It's
it
still,
matters.
but there's still a
If
blackout.
Inter
Juventus
reversed-
lost 2-0. Juventus were winning 2-0, and they lost to Milan.
But if Inter were
Milan's a
first place
subpar
in the
team
same
this year.
scenario, the same thing would happen.
Milan, the same thing with Milan. Milan were winning 2-0 versus Inter, and Inter beat them 4-2.
Pete, listen to yourself. If the roles were reversed, it would have been the
bad.
same thing. It's
That's
just a
bad.
position.
It's like you lost against AC Milan and Inter Milan
You
on
lost
the
your
same
mind.
Give him the
game.
Scudetto then, right?
Wow, Pete.
But
You know what? I like that. I like
it will be a big deal if Juventus lose to tomorrow. Is going to be the game for us, Atalanta. If
Atalanta,
Atalanta beat Juventus, I think that's where some fear will start to set in.
You play
now.
You're gonna play in Torino, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Because
It
the
doesn't
first
make
game,
any difference anyway. So
it makes a little difference. But either way, let's move on. Let's move on to Inter because I know that's where you guys wanna go.
I wanted to give compliment to Milan
Oh, okay.
with Benacer and
Thank
Kessié
you.
in the midfield.
Thank you.
They look like they work well.
They're
Benacer is
better
the
midfielder
creator,
than what you
Kessié
have over
the
there.
breaker.
Better midfielder than what you have.
I
It's
wouldn't
like a
go
little
too
Piero
far.
Gattuso almost,
Well,
right? A bootleg
yeah, that
version.
type of
bootleg
version.
version.
And
Right?
you know, Juventus also. The Milan for
I
the
speak-
first half, they
would get shit for
Juventus didn't do much. I have to say. The second half, they scored 2 goals off of mistakes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
so true.
Exactly.
It's very true.
You know,
Mistakes, yeah.
Two
It's
mistakes.
not that they
Two
did something
Romagnoli
brilliant.
mistakes, both of them.
But there's
Romagnoli-
also other people that were culpable in
on the
that.
second one.
Theo got nutmegged by Rabiot.
Oh yeah.
That's like you getting nutmegged by Mike.
Yeah, but look,
I do that
Romagnoli.
on daily.
Romagnoli is supposed to put a wall right there in front of
Yeah,
him.
What
What about
did he do?
Kejar?
Step and
Kejar
step.
was right next to him.
messed up with
Kejar.
Kjaer,
No.
Kjaer.
They
On the
Kjaer.
both
jump,
Kjaer.
Romagnoli threw Kejar's off
It
the
was
time.
more than just Romagnoli
was
that made a
both of
mistake.
them.
Romagnoli is culpable on both situations.
He is culpable, but he's not the only thing that's
100%,
culpable.
Both of him. Both of the goal is on him.
Okay. Anything else for Milan? No, right?
We
can move
deserve
on.
the win 4-2.
Yes,
Yeah, they
I
deserve
agree.
the
We'll
win.
take the 3 points.
Congratulations.
We're just going to put it on the bank and just hopefully they're going to pay dividends for us for qualifying for the UEFA. I mean, we're not looking for to win everything like those guys over here, the 3 people. Hey, it is what it is.
It's
We're
good for your
scrambler-
morale.
Yeah.
We're scramblers and we know that we have nothing to lose.
What were your honest reactions though when you guys scored the 2-2 other than the 3-2, 4-2? Be honest with me.
Screw Juventus. Oh my God. I was
you
raging
were
with a
in
little kid too.
Yeah,
I
you
was
made a little
raging.
bet.
Oh my
Anybody wants to
God.
check Antonio's page on Instagram? He made a little bet with what's his name?
Gio.
Gio, who's a Juventus fan, and he made him put on a AC Milan shirt. He did wear it like a good sport.
He did.
He was a nice kid. He was much nicer than I would have been to you. You guys are picking on him a little
And
bit
Gio watches the
too much.
podcast all the time. Hey, Gio, by
Yeah,
the
we
way,
know
we're talking,
Gio.
we're talking about you. You see what happened? Those 3 losers over here, they're trying to, you know.
Don't worry.
I'm
No,
one
you're
of
not.
you.
You're not. This
I'm
is
one of
a
you.
backstabber Mike. So.
Let's go on. Let's go on to Inter. 2-2 draw with Hellas Verona, a match that they had in their hands essentially, and yeah, it was in their hands.
It
It
came
was their
back.
destiny was in their
It
own
came
hands.
back.
Unless Verona could have been up though 3-0. I'm just saying.
That's fine, but
Yeah,
in
the
a
first
match,
half.
there's
I know. They
many
could've-
times that you could
They
say
should have
that.
closed it off.
But again, like we've seen with Inter, I think there's a stat in the last like 20 minutes of the match, 15 or 20 minutes, how many times you guys have given up.
Oh, yeah.
You look like you got a headache from me.
Yeah,
from
well,
even talking
what-
about
a winning
there was a
position.
statistic that we were listening to. Inter with leading, they've lost 20 points.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Dude.
Okay,
That's
so
crazy.
that's
games.
20 points. That's you're on top of the
You already
league
won the-
table.
you
You
already
know
won
what I'm saying?
the Scudetto.
So that's a problem, and that's a problem that I can blame Conte to a certain extent. And why I say so, there's been a lot of whatever fans and stuff commenting Conte out, this and that. He's a problem. I don't believe
be
all,
kicked
I don't
out.
I don't believe all of it.
Kick
all
him
the,
out.
all I can say is, but Conte's defensive approach for some reason has not worked with this Inter. And we can look at all the Juventus games, Chelsea games where the defense was solid. They won games 1-0, 2-0. Inter, if you look at the last couple of games or whatever, on average, I think they average around 1.5, 2 goals allowed
Conceded.
per game.
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't you have
and
the
that's
best defense
and that's a big problem,
Oh, this is-
and that's a big problem. So there's something wrong in the mechanism of his 3-5-2. Are the defenders that we have capable of playing a 3-5-2? We see Skriniar, who has suffered all year long, okay, where the spacing and having to cover a larger amount of field in this 3-man is not working. And yesterday was a disaster, okay? Within 2 minutes, this guy gets beat one-on-one like that. We never see Skriniar get beat. And then,
Embarrassing.
nonetheless,
On the first
Andanovic gets beat near post. Can't have that happen. That being said, you have
Does Skriniar? I just wanted to finish with that because that's one of the questions I had. Does he just not work in a back three?
I don't know if it's not working in a back three or just that the spacing is off. They're not understanding the full mechanism of it. And it could be that he's not made to play in a backman
Wait.
defense.
Could you
He's-
explain to me, because you were saying a 3-5-2
spacing.
compared to a 4-man backline. You explained to me well, and there's a lot of people asking questions. What's so different about a 3-man backline and a 4-man backline? Why are they having difficulties to adjust?
One
The
player
fra-
that could be an example for you is
Yeah.
Bonucci. When
Yeah.
Bonucci played in a 3-man backline under Conte, he thrived because he could play in a position where he didn't have as much of a role.
And
In a 2-man,
responsibility,
you
too,
do have
I
more responsibility, but there's also less question marks of who goes and who stays.
Yeah.
And I just want to add, wait,
You don't
the
get it.
Vrij
Mike.
played in a 3-man backline. Skriniar hasn't played, and Godin hasn't played in a 3-man. Realistically,
De Vrij looked good in
But
it.
I'm
Looks
saying,
very good.
Why do you think? Why does a 3-man backline work or not work? And what's the responsibilities compared to a 4-man backline?
Well, it's not so much working or not working. It's more so the understanding that there's more space to cover in the
Okay.
3-man. Because
Yeah.
I don't have anything to show you, but
I will show you.
on a 3-man backline, right? You cannot be as aggressive. Skriniar is known to be an aggressive defender, but if he steps too often, aggressively goes after and misses, there's a lot of space now that the opposing team can take advantage of, and it breaks down the whole defense. Instead, if you're one of the center backs with the 4-man defense, you have two that are able to close down right next to you, and there's less space in that back line. So I see that problem, that Skriniar hasn't been able to be as aggressive, and in turn has hurt his
We've all noticed
defensive ability. De Vrij, like you said, with the Lazio, used to playing a 3-man defense, and that center role has been able to play, quote unquote, the sweeper, the old sweeper position, where he cleans up everything.
That's what Bonucci did.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
exactly what he did.
And then Godin has been completely lost. He doesn't have the speed as what he once had. He's a physical defender, man marking and stuff, but in that position, in a 3-man back, he has way too much space that he has to cover, too much ground to cover. And also, he can't play the ball. He doesn't know how to pass the
not
ball,
good with
move
his
the
feet.
ball, can't go up and down.
That guy's a national
That-
team player.
Yeah, but there's certain ways that they play. That being said, now Conte, if we watch this Inter team, Conte has changed a little bit. It's not the Conte of the Juventus time. The Conte of the Juventus time, what I've seen is that he's taken a more offensive approach and playing the ball from the back this year compared to what I remember, and he's also been able to put more men forward. And we changed the formation now.
I think also just one perspective of it too. I think you guys had better strikers, and Juventus had a better midfield. So his midfield kind of dominated.
him?
His midfield dominated games, and his strikers up top were never like. I mean, we played with like Vucinic, Jovinko, guys that were not like the most Llorente, guys who are not as talented, I think, in my opinion, as Lukaku and Lautaro are.
Go ahead.
Okay, the answer for you, we're debating now the 3-5-2. Here's the answer.
No, I'm not
Did you get the
debating.
answer
I'm
from
just
the phone
saying.
call?
No, the guy, the stupid phone dropped, the phone call dropped. Here's the deal. Your 3-5-2, it's only on the offensive situation where the three defensive liner comes back. As soon as you guys lose the ball, it becomes a 4.
5.
It becomes an hybrid between 4-4-2 and 5-3-2. Okay, so here's the deal. The deal is that you have a bunch of losers over there. Godin is not used to play.
Incredible analysis.
Yeah. Godin is not used to play with Skriniar, with De Vrij, with all of those people that is supposed to be rely upon them. But when you see a Skriniar, the top of the line, you guys have said a $70-80 million player, big like an idiot.
$80 million player.
What is it?
He was free transfer.
Okay, Skriniar free transfer?
Yeah.
All right.
Right?
I think
they
my market
paid- I
value.
think they
How
paid-
much is he worth
No,
now,
they paid
by the way? How much is he worth?
15-20 mil.
0?
No, 0 no.
But anyway, you get beat like that. There is no this argument of the 3-3-5-2, 3-4-3. It's not an argument. This is an individual that should know the basic of the defense. Okay? You are on your weak side.
Anton, you're a defender.
You are on your weak side. You never get jumped on the weak side, and then the guy comes in and it beats
But
him down on
you're-
the weak side.
But that's what I'm saying. If you let me finish, I was saying that particular play is inexcusable in the sense that you can't blame Conte. These are things that you cannot have
But it's
happen
not the
at a
3-5-2
professional.
what's not
No,
working. It's Skriniar that is not working.
well, that's what I'm saying. But Skriniar is not working in that particular play. It happens.
Formation, yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, in the overall grand scheme of the season, it's been a constant failure of goals allowed, goals conceded. This has been the problem. We're not that Conte style team where you keep a game close 1-0 and win the game 1-0.
And it's funny
So-
because that's kind of like what we
But-
expected.
but-
That's what we
Again,
Again,
expected.
we're
but
like, wow, De Vrij,
You know,
Skriniar.
Inter-
Marco, listen to this.
after the end, Inter have scored since coming back. Inter have scored the most goals,
But listen,
tied with Atalanta, I think.
let me just tell you.
that
Let me
because 6
finish
of them
up.
came against
Let
Brescia?
me
Well, listen,
fin-
the 6 that came,
let me
okay,
finish
what happened?
up. Let me finish up. So,
Those are still goals
if
scored.
the 3 defender is not the problem. The other problem could be that the midfield is not doing the filtering that it's supposed to do. They're losing a lot of balls. They're losing key balls over there, and they're not quick enough in coming back
Well, listen,
and helping.
but-
That's why when there is a goal on your net and you pick up the ball, I said, "Oh, you pick up the ball from the net. Who screwed up?" Many times you look at the defender, but the vast majority of the time, if you look at the game, on the second goal, I see Borja Valero
Yeah.
over there just was like that, just like a
Oh, yeah,
look,
Vecino and Borja
Vecino.
Valero. But that's
Hey.
my point. My point is,
the midfielder, they're not doing their job.
no, my point is that we cannot blame everything on Conte. Inter are losing and getting goals scored against on simple mistakes, attention to detail. The goal that Verona scored was on 2 mistakes by 2 players. Okay, Skriniar letting the guy go by, which I don't know how that happened,
Like Romagnoli.
and Andanovic not covering his flat-footed
his near post,
and not
yeah.
covering his near post. 1. The second goal was on a throw-in. Throw-in that you have to be on. There's no such thing as turning off. You are Inter. Vecino letting him go. Borja Valero not tracking back the midfielder.
Nothing.
One simple pass, one goal. Way too easy. And that's not Conte's fault. Conte cannot play. Conte is not on the field playing. He can only prepare the team how he can prepare the team. One thing that people can say is, why didn't Eriksen play? Why did he make subs late? Why did he make subs? Listen, that's reading of the game, and maybe at a certain point, whatever, he's not reading the way that you would read or the way a lot of people will read. But up until now, we were progressing. Now I see his press, conference interview where all of a sudden his demeanor has changed.
It looks like he's had a funeral.
Where he seems very, very quiet,
Depressed,
very depressed, very
listen.
confused. So I think himself is having a very challenging season. Okay, he doesn't understand how this Inter team isn't higher than what it is. I really think that he himself feels like he's done a subpar job. Now, what I want to see is how he reacts. But is it now that you say, okay, let's forget about the season, let's keep everybody healthy, and we're gonna prepare for the Europa League coming in August, and next year with a couple of additions, this is what we're gonna do.
Like what?
Well,
Who
we
you
already
thinking?
got Hakimi. Listen, Inter for the longest time, the biggest problem
Wing back.
have been the wing backs. The winger, we've had Nagatomo, we've had Jonathan.
What happened
We
to
have all these
Asamoah?
guys. Asamoah hasn't even played, been injured.
I feel
but
like
he's
he's
not
been
playing.
injured and never
Why is
got
he on the
back in
bench?
thing.
I don't know.
It doesn't make any
And
sense.
that's his player, so he's,
I know.
he's using-
It's,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
strange.
one second, just to add on top, I think it's a very interesting argument that Peter has. And I think Peter shares a sentiment that's very different than most Inter fans. Most Inter fans that I've seen online have all been critical of Conte. They're very fed up with him. They're very fed up with the lack of substitution. I know substitutions was a big thing in the last game, saying that certain players were drained. Why are certain players playing? Why aren't certain players playing? And most of the blame has gone to Conte, where they're saying, we are in the same, if not worse, position than last year. After spending money, has Conte really improved us as a
Nothing.
team?
No, the thing is, so
That's not my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
no, I-
saying what
I understand what
the
you're saying,
Inter fans
but-
are saying on there.
you can be a supporter of Conte, against Conte, not see anything. But what you can say is there is an identity to this team. They do play a certain style. Maybe it's a style you don't like, but there is an imprint to the Inter team.
But what does
okay?
that matter if it's not a good style, according to these people?
Well, it matters because the players are in. The players are in it, and it also requires certain guys being able to exploit that. If you have Candreva and he's, scored the goal and also got the Suedo goal, but you need guys that are higher caliber that can make decent cross game in, game out. You need Lautaro, who in the beginning of the season was on fire, now is a
even
shadow
leave the-
of himself.
can't even leave the pass
He
off
can't
to
even pass the
Sanchez
ball.
that would've,
And that goes back to the Sassuolo game. Gagliardini puts in the back of net. You're talking about a whole nother game. Lautaro passes the ball. You're talking about a whole nother
you're
game.
saying more of the blame
These
is
are
on the players rather
This
than
is
Conte.
on the players, man. This is on the players. And what needs to be done is you need to have a mix. Inter do not have winning players on their team.
Does Atalanta have winning players on their team?
Atalanta has no pressure.
Oh, you got pressure
What
now.
about Lazio?
We've always had
What
pressure.
is your
Wait, one
pressure?
second.
Since the beginning, you wanted them to win the triplete. Since the beginning, everyone
But
that
you
said the
are.
anti-Juventus
You are.
is Inter. There's always been pressure on Inter. There's pressure. Atalanta, as long as they play good, they don't care.
So you're not. There's a lot of people asking for Conte to be gone at the end of the season.
But
you don't.
you're
share
going to
that
get rid of
sentiment.
Conte for what?
That's a
for who?
lame,
They say-
a
For
lame
who?
excuse.
I'm just
For
gonna
who?
say they say Allegri.
Okay,
That's
you
the
get
name
Allegri.
everybody's talking about.
Everybody knows Allegri. You'll get the win, but you're going to play boring soccer.
Really?
But wait,
Yeah.
you care more about not
Wow,
getting the win?
Conte,
No,
why?
what I'm trying to say is that what's the project?
Exactly.
If the
Winning.
project is, yes, it's to win, but it's also to create something that
It takes
lasts.
time.
Why?
I'm not arguing
Conte's
against
game
that. I'm
is
just arguing.
spectacular according to you. What's there? It's boring too. Conte is boring.
No, you see the movement in the play. You see the.
One movement.
What do
One
you mean, one
movement.
You-
One movement. One movement.
You can see the movement in the
One
wing backs and stuff
movement.
and the style. That's why he plays with that 3-5-2.
Listen, you.
I don't particularly like
You've
a
been
3-5-2.
awarded all of the best midfielders that you have in Europe.
Yeah.
Two in Italy. Oh, Eriksen, Barella.
Barella, since he
Sensi,
hasn't touched the field in
Anto, but
how
they've
long?
been injured for how
Doesn't
long?
matter.
They're injured. They're not playing.
If they're not
They're
playing,
injured.
What do they do? Of course it matters.
The system that this guy has, and you say is imprint, does not exist. It never existed to begin with. This guy is a phony. Okay, Conte is a phony.
Explain.
I'll tell you the reasons
back
why.
up what you're saying.
Conte, I'm telling you, it's not a coach that the players they have his back, because it's too nervous. His body language is not conducive for people to do better. And as soon as you have a bad game, you get benched. Look, Lautaro. He doesn't perform 100%. He sits on the bench.
We were just arguing the fact that Lautaro needs to sit down. And why didn't he sit down last week?
A coach is supposed to instill some sort of a confidence on the player and say, oh, okay, listen, don't worry. You can make a mistake, but the next time around, just do this. People, they play scared under Conte. The guy is constantly running back and down the line. His hair are just going bananas.
What's that to do with
Listen. Same
So
way
Candreva, for example.
he was the best player that you guys had over there.
Candreva last year. How was Candreva last year?
He sucked.
How was he this year?
He sucks again.
He's a lot better than last year.
Listen, but the bottom line is Conte is not a great coach.
Lukaku, how many goals does he
It's
score?
not even a good motivator.
Yeah,
Lukaku.
come on.
Listen.
Also, Lukaku. Look at the importance when Lukaku came off for Inter.
Yeah.
But Marco, listen to this. Now Lukaku.
He went off, and your team is like done with.
No, I'm not done with it. Lautaro's got to step up.
Lautaro and Lukaku, they've been figured out now. Defensive.
The whole season, Conte's been asking for Vice Lukaku. The whole season.
Okay. So
And he hasn't got anybody.
Okay. So the bottom line is the Italian style of the Campionato Italiano of defense. It's a way that you look at the tape, you study the players. You study the player, and you know what's the weakness of the offensive player, and you know what the strength of the offensive player. Coaching that we have in Italy, they're not as stupid as Conte. You got De Zerbi. You got a lot of coaches that they already figured them out, and they know their moves.
Are you saying this is Conte's fault?
Yes, it is.
Entirely?
Yes, it is, because he makes them play very rigid scheme. People like Lautaro, people like Lukaku, they should be given the freedom to move around.
I do agree.
Don't give them a referment. You guys are giving to the.
He's bad. He's breaking stuff
Listen,
down.
you guys, Inter has given the defensive setup of all the opposite team too much of a laser point. They know exactly where Lautaro is going to go.
That
They
is
know
very
exactly
true.
Where
That is
Lukaku's
very true.
gonna
That's a
go.
good
They know
point.
exactly where everybody's going to go.
That's a very
So
valid
what
But
point.
yet, Inter's problem isn't scoring goals. Inter's problem is letting the goals in. So
Well, listen,
Lukaku still scored. Lukaku has 20 goals.
The one thing
We've
I
been
will
scoring.
agree, and which to me, this is you guys know I was a Conte fan. I always liked Conte a lot, but he does have his faults, and this has been admitted. He's a very stubborn coach.
Yeah.
He's an extremely stubborn coach who, in my opinion, at Juventus, he was always criticized for his substitutions. The guy did not read the game enough, and he was too stubborn and stuck in his ways of who he wanted on the pitch that he would not put in who was more important for the game. Even Cesc Fabregas gave a perfect example
Right.
of this when he was at Chelsea, and that is who Conte is, and you're buying into that when you get Conte. And the thing, I have a question about Eriksen. You know, Di Marzio, and okay, this is Di Marzio, this is a journalist reporting. He says that Conte is not happy with the intensity of Eriksen in training. In my opinion, a player like Eriksen, he's balanced with a guy that does the engine work.
But-
he needs to have his freedom to
Right.
do what Eriksen does best
the
and have that creativity. It's like, well, you know, Kaká and Gattuso, they balance each other out. Kaká did a lot of the creative work, and Gattuso did the hunger. You can't have everybody be a Gattuso.
The thing is, if Eriksen, what we have to figure out is Eriksen, did he come to Inter because it was Conte's choice? Was it Marotta's choice? Was it Zhang's choice?
Yeah.
That's
All
the
of the
problem.
above.
So
wasn't Conte's.
that
It was
would
all of the above.
that is the real problem, because if it's not Conte's idea of a player,
Yeah, but how can
Then-
Conte not like this player?
doesn't matter. The point is,
It's not a good
if it's not Conte's idea of his player and his system, then he's not the right player to bring to the team, because what happens is you create controversy more than anything else. Look at it. We're talking about Eriksen like if he was God's savior to the earth.
I had a quick
No, but
question.
you're complaining about a midfield, and you have a very good midfield, one that's been proven to be one of the best
Why
in the
not
world.
bring
Like, how
Eriksen
can-
back?
What do you mean he's not that player? He's
That he-
exactly that,
He
player.
likes. I'm saying that Conte.
doesn't
but
make any
let me just ask a
sense.
question, because I'm confused on this. Why did Conte do so good with Azzurri, and he can't do it with better caliber players like that? Why do you think?
Well, they're very different.
Peter-
It's
I will
a
answer the
tournament
question.
style.
I will answer the
Tournament
question.
style
Okay.
is very different
Mike.
than a league style.
Mike,
But they're
he's-
playing incredible though.
He's usually
right?
I mean,
like, why does it work there?
Mike.
I get what you're saying. It's a different,
Mike,
not
let-
as many
Mike,
games.
let me tell you something about Conte.
Oh, I know enough
Eriksen,
from you about Conte.
Eriksen is a very good player, not a good player. I wish I had him on AC Milan. The reason is Conte is not capable to plug him on the situation, to put him on the situation to excel. Gasperini, on the other hand, he will take a below zero player and will make him do the best for himself and for the team.
If he fits the system.
Once it does all the time.
If he fits the system.
It does. Listen to
But
me.
what style does Gasperini play?
Listen to me.
What style does Gasperini play?
Gasperini plays an up and down game.
What's the formation that
20
he uses?
people playing offense and 20
What's the
people
formation that he
playing
uses?
3-4-1-2.
eight-
What type of
3-4-1.
wing backs does he have?
3-4-1.
There's a specific type of wing back that has been used for Genoa, for Atalanta, all these guys that have to fit his style.
Gosens and
Wait, you want
Hateboer
the
are
perfect
amazing.
example? Okay, Calabria, no Calabria.
Conte?
No, the guy that Caldara.
Oh,
He sat on the AC Milan bench for a year and a half, 2 years.
Because he was
without freaking
injured.
playing.
He was injured.
No. Even when he was right.
He was injured.
The guy was never capable to do what he had to do because we're a bunch of losers.
Yeah, but you cannot.
Okay.
Caldara is not the type of player.
Okay.
Caldara is a center back.
All right, so this is just to make you a quick example. Eriksen, you telling me does not have the brain to understand what the coach is telling you to do? Guy is being told to just do 2-3 movements only. He hasn't been given the freedom. That guy's not a Cassano. If you tell Cassano,
You haven't said Cassano in a
you
long
tell
time.
Cassano
I forgot
that
about
this
it.
is what I want you to do.
Why
He's
you
gonna
guys
do the
so
complete
close?
opposite.
Go from left to
Why are you
right,
so
up and
close to each
down.
other?
You know what Cassano is going to tell you?
Screw you.
Don't,
Say it.
don't make me say it. Go
Say
F yourself.
Say it in Bares.
Go F yourself.
In Baresi,
you
you
cannot
gotta say it.
tell.
Baresi.
Baresi.
You cannot tell.
Baresi.
How can I say that?
Che
That- Vaffanculo.
No, that's not Baresi. Give me a good Baresi one.
So listen,
Gishimalo.
you cannot really tell a ball handler. You cannot really tell a ball handler how to move on the field. You cannot tell Pirlo what to do. You cannot tell Cristiano Ronaldo what to do.
But-
those are players, or Dybala, what to do. Those are players, they call it chicken, like free range. Free range.
When we came
You put
back,
them on the
Eriksen
field,
came
and I
onto
said,
the
go
field
over
and
there
actually
have
did
a
really
good
well.
time. Go over there and have a good time.
Oh, are they going for a picnic?
No, go over there and play soccer the way you know how to do it. Conte's got no system, he's got no imprint, he's got nothing. So all of this BS that you've been saying about Conte identity, Conte's got nothing, zero.
We're gonna move on.
Zero.
We're gonna
I
move
just want
on
to say
to one
it's
question.
too soon.
Conte's
It's
One
got
second,
no
you're gonna
identity.
get to that. You're gonna get
if
to
he had an identity, you would have seen it on the field. Conte's
We
got
see the identity.
no identity.
The problem is that we're letting
People
goal
are
in.
confused.
Okay.
I still don't know what kind of a system he's still playing right now. I've been watching games.
been 8 months.
How can I figure that out?
Did you get your glasses?
No.
Right here, you keep forgetting.
There are rumors about Conte potentially leaving. Obviously, they're coming from Monblano, who's obviously always been hit and miss. He's gotten, Ronaldo right. He's gotten Allegri right. Guardiola was the big wrong one for him. He's obviously a Juventus journalist, which take it in for what it is. He says, according to him, he's got a source that's close to Zhang and the upper they're done with Conte. He said Zhang and all the directors it's not about the sporting results. It's about his attitude. It's about the way that he comports. What's the
His
word?
body language on and off the field.
I wasn't going to say body language, but
Translates
the way that he
it.
composes himself and some stuff that's happened beyond just the results of there that they want to move on with him. And Conte also gave in his interview saying, listen, at the end of the season, I'm going to make my considerations and the club will make theirs. And he said one other thing that I thought was key. He said, we need to look at how far away are we from winning. He goes, maybe I think one thing, maybe the team thinks another thing. So these are all things, and obviously as a Juventus fan, I remember back then, these were the remedies for Conte leaving Juventus. This, what he said, is almost picture perfect from what happened at Juventus and then what happened at Chelsea. This is the same exact thing that's happened time and time again with him. So it does lead me to believe that maybe there is rumors, but I still can't get over the fact that he makes $12 million and they're not going to sack a guy and pay him. He's still got 2 years on his contract. And then you got to sign another coach. So you're paying Spalletti, Conte, and one other. That's the thing I can't get over.
Marco, thank you for bringing that back. That Chelsea analogy is fit perfectly Conte stuff. I'll tell you the reasons why. Conte, he had, what's his name?
Diego Costa?
Diego Costa, he wanted to move Diego Costa like a little Burattino, like, hey, put the string from the top, hey, I want you to do this and that. Diego Costa told Conte, I said, you know what? Get the hell out of my side. I play the way I know how to play. So, once that started, when that relationship started to go sour, so there was no communication. Conte was asked to play Diego Costa because Diego Costa is one of the best talent on the English Premier League, and now it's, of course, he used to play for Spain, and I'm not sure.
He's at Atletico right
He's on Atletico Madrid.
So anyway,
Simeone.
the bottom line is,
We're going to move on after this.
You cannot tell a champion, somebody that is, he is born with the ball attached and glued to his feet, how to move on the field. You can't tell that. You say, hey, listen, this is.
Do you respect Pirlo's opinion?
Yes.
Pirlo said he's one of his better coaches, one of the best coaches he ever had.
Pirlo's been polite because Pirlo now is trying to come up into the Juventus system, and he doesn't want to piss him off. But Pirlo, you never see Pirlo. Pirlo was given the freedom to do everything he wanted.
So how did he give Pirlo the freedom, but he's not going to give?
That's what Conte hasn't learned yet.
Conte had him.
Conte cannot coach a caliber team with all the talent that Inter had. You guys should have at least maybe the same
Pogba's
kind of
best
Juventus.
season was with Conte and
But
as a
Peter,
coach.
Juventus is not doing that well this year. This was the year for you guys to win. This was
They're not
the
doing
year
that
for
well.
you guys
They
to
have only
win.
lost 3 games.
Listen to me, because you guys allowed Juventus
But it's not
to
us.
go.
The
You
whole
guys
campionato
allowed.
needs to do better.
Did you guys beat Juventus, by the way?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
Did Milan
Lazio.
Yeah.
Lazio lost to Lecce. This was the first game that we watched. Another disappointing one for Lazio that I couldn't believe. People Inzaghi, Simone's brother, said that if there was no lockdown, Lazio would most likely have won.
I
the
agree with
Scudetto.
that. I agree with
You
that.
agree with that?
I agree with that. You know, it takes you off your
Feeling.
Listen.
It does. Takes you off your
Listen,
game. It
this
does.
coronavirus, it takes you off your rhythm. It takes off your drive. You know, a lot of people they were never.
Can't the same be said for every single team?
But I mean, on Inzaghi's team, it's very evident they don't have it physically. They're not there.
Something looks very off with them. I've never seen them
A lot
lose.
of them.
They
I
look like
don't
they don't
see
wanna
them really.
play.
I see them walking on the field.
Yeah, it looks like a training
You
session.
have, you have to remember, a lot of times it's how you feel. Like if you're winning brings on winning.
Yes.
And the mentality. So when things are feeling good, and
Everyone's
Lazio during that run, man, they were high as ever, man. So, but once now it's been 3 months where things have stopped, and now you're back playing, but it's kind of like hard to get it restarted again.
But are you giving
and
them
we
an
noticed.
excuse now?
I'm not giving
Is that
them
an-
excuse.
Like, what is that? 'Cause look
I
at
don't.
Atalanta,
No, I don't
you
think.
know?
I don't think
Yeah.
it's an excuse. I think
Yeah.
it's
What is it?
it's Lazio doing a lot better than what they were supposed to do, which we can say
You're saying they
is
got
true.
caught up?
100%.
And
to reality,
and
maybe?
they got back to reality. Whereas if they were on the high still back in March,
They could've-
maybe they could have finished out the season at a high.
That's a
Who
good
knows?
point.
Who knows? They could have even easily
Momentum.
started
I mean, it is
peaking again
momentum.
too. But yeah, momentum.
I do agree with that, with what Peter said. I think that they definitely were overachieving. Not to take anything away from them, but they were. I mean,
How many games did they win in the last dying seconds? I remember the Cagliari
Oh,
game,
yeah,
the
but-
99th minute.
but I
scored.
agree with you.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I also do think there is a mentality thing in it where, you know, there are certain teams who things can happen to them and it makes them crumble, and there are certain teams who things can happen to them and it can make them do better. You know, it's like when you poke at you poke at somebody. Sometimes the person's just gonna crumble up and sit there and accept you're poking him, and there's another one that they're gonna attack.
Yeah.
And I think that is part of what's happening. And I think that another part of it is, and I know nobody will like to hear this, but I don't think Lazio's team is as deep. And I know you
not.
can always make the Atalanta
They're not.
argument and this and that, but in my opinion, it isn't.
Well, Atalanta argument. Atalanta, you take off Zapata, you have Muriel. Muriel is a good freaking player.
Well,
Malinowski,
you know,
you can
To
put-
be fair, there were people who didn't believe in Muriel before this.
Nah, but
A lot of people.
okay, you don't believe in him, but he's still a player that has played in Serie A and has made the difference in Sevilla, has made the difference. So he's a guy that can play.
Well, you
That's
could also
not a
say
question about
for them. I mean, Lazio between their front two, they have Caicedo, Immobile, and Correa.
Okay,
Those 3 very good players.
Caicedo's
And Luis
a
Alberto,
good
like,
player,
yeah.
but he's not
Caicedo like exploded
good
this year.
player. Good
Yeah.
player,
He's still-
but he's
they-
not.
you know,
They play with two
He went on a
strikers,
run,
too, so it's
exactly.
kinda even-
So they have
makes-
3.
It makes their squad even more thin.
No,
rather
it
than
doesn't.
playing-
No, it doesn't. It's the
What do you mean?
opposite. They
Why?
have 2, and they have 3 players,
'cause-
and they're 3 high caliber
Because
players.
Caicedo, Immobile, they were suspended, and they only had Correa. Then they put Luis Alberto. They had to move him up, who's a midfielder.
I'm just
That was
my
both of
my
them
only
are.
argument is just that Muriel's on the bench, and for me, I would say Correa's on the bench for Lazio.
You want to know something? For me, Muriel is just as good or better than Lukaku or Lautaro. Hands down. Give him the play time. Give him the minutes that those 2 guys have been afforded on Inter.
First off, you don't look at stats when it was Milan. Now you look at stats.
Doesn't matter. Muriel is a technical player. Muriel, if you give them 4 balls or 3 balls, it's going to put 1 or 2, they're going to put it in.
Yeah.
But
Can
they're
we
using
say
Muriel as a secret weapon now.
Now
He's not playing as many minutes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes he gets into a break, he's faster, and that's the only thing that is helping Lautaro is his speed. He doesn't have a lot of class, this guy. The guy doesn't have too many
Antonio,
things.
can we
control.
can
I
we
just
say that
wanna-
Lazio's done
Listen,
for the
I just
Scudetto?
Muriel, why he's doing so good too is he's more fresh than say Lukaku, Lautaro that plays 90 minutes. Gasperini puts in 30 minutes a game and he gives his absolute 100% in.
Well,
He's a
Lautaro
quick
was on the
player.
bench last game.
Yeah, okay, one, but for the whole season, Muriel has been, he's been a
Lautaro's
super sub,
Lautaro's
so that's
22
why
years
another
old.
thing.
Mike,
Okay,
at
what
that
does that
age,
mean?
Mike,
Lautaro's 22 years old.
If you play 90 minutes, how many times like Lukaku or something,
Okay,
you're
but
not
then
going to put as much
but
energy.
but
if
the
you play
reverse
30
the
minutes,
reverse
a
can be
third of
said. The reverse can be said because people will say, "Oh, you have consistency. Oh, look, you're getting game time minutes. You should be playing better."
Mike.
Rather than when you have to come in 30 minutes
Okay.
and then automatically do
gotta
something.
be-
I get that,
point.
but you still that energy gets
could
used
find
up.
this for
especially
either way. He's
you're wrong.
22.
You're wrong.
He's
I'll tell you why.
22.
At that age, the energy, the more you play, the better you do.
No, I don't know.
I'm telling you that at that age, energy. is
Mike's
never
that
been a
age.
factor.
Mike's around that age.
Mike is is a punk. Listen to me. Listen to me. At that age, at 20 years old, you
How
should
old
be
is
playing
he?
3 games a day. 3 games a
Mike,
day.
you see?
What kind of games
And
you
never
play?
get tired. Okay, this Lautaro, what does he do? When Inter is not playing offense, what do you see Lautaro running up
He's
and
a
down?
mess with this
side
mask.
by side, pa, 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 pa.
He's gonna break the mic.
Nothing. He's waiting over there. He's waiting.
What are you
waiting,
talking about?
waiting.
Alright,
Lautaro always
next.
presses.
Yo,
But
guys,
anyway,
next.
going back
Please.
to
Okay.
Lazio, no?
Okay. Are they done for
They
the
don't-
scudetto?
Listen, if you're gonna still give Atalanta the chance, Lazio's still there. They have more points than Atalanta.
Atalanta wins. You watch.
If
You know,
Atalanta wins, the
Yeah.
entire Serie A gets interesting.
yeah.
How crazy?
I mean, I don't know how interesting,
Let's
but
put it this
gives
way.
a chance.
If
How wouldn't it be interesting?
it
There's
would.
6 points.
no,
No.
6.
6. It
points.
would be
If they
6
beat
points
Juve,
for
they're
Atalanta.
6 points off first place.
And if Lazio would be 5 points.
Lazio would be 5 or 4.
Doesn't matter. Just check
No,
it out.
don't put Inter.
Doesn't
Inter
matter.
is not on the
We didn't-
list.
we didn't say
Definitely
Inter.
more
We never
interesting.
said
It'll
Inter.
definitely go back in the race.
Okay.
100%.
Champions League draws.
Draws, yep.
We'll do Europa League draws first. Inter will play either Leverkusen or Rangers,
If they qualify.
If they, yeah.
They have to play Getafe still.
and Roma
Who's
would.
playing Getafe?
Inter.
If Inter go past Getafe,
How did they do so far? With
They haven't played.
Oh, they haven't
They
played.
didn't play.
Getafe is not an easy team.
And then Roma would play again if they would play either Wolves. Oh, Olympiacos. I didn't
Or
realize-
Wolves.
Oh wow.
Wow.
1-1 that
Wolves
game.
are probably going to.
Dude, what's real different now, actually, and we're gonna go on to Champions League. These are one-off games now. There's no more for the next round for quarterfinals.
There's no
They're
two.
one match because obviously they don't have enough time. So it's completely different. It's one knockout match. We've seen how many times.
Final with one on
Yes.
one game.
One
Yes.
game.
It's like a
One
There's
game.
no home and away.
One
These are
game
finals.
Changes
That's it.
everything.
Yeah.
So in reality, it's kind of like how many times did we see like Barcelona? They did the remontada, where in one match PSG was able to, but then you have the second leg and something else can
Now there's
happen.
not
Historic
time for
Roma
So
come back.
It does give.
PSG.
I think it favors
The smaller
the
teams,
smaller teams because in a
100%.
one-off match you could do something incredible.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Champions League draws.
Yeah.
Napoli, if they go through a Barcelona, which I believe it's 1-1, is the current right 1-1. They would play either Chelsea or Bayern Munich, which is going to be Bayern Munich because Bayern's up 3-0 already. Juventus, if they go through with Lyon, which again they're down
1-0.
against Lyon, they would play either Real Madrid or Manchester City.
Oh boy.
I think Man City has the lead in that.
They do
and
two
Sergio
on-
Ramos is not playing the
Ooh.
reverse leg. He's out.
He got a red?
I don't know. He's
Oh,
out.
damn.
Atalanta against PSG. Confirmed.
Yeah.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Now, let's get our reactions to this. We'll start with Atalanta versus PSG. I'm going to tell you, when I saw that Atalanta was paired with PSG, I wasn't that mad.
Can Icardi play?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
why
my
not?
God.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Now
Now, call me
Icardi is gonna score.
call me crazy, but
thought you
I
wanted
don't think
Atalanta.
that this is that bad.
I know. I want Atalanta to win, but
No.
unfortunately, Icardi is playing for PSG now.
Number one, you're in the Champions League. You're not going to get an easy draw. There was only one team that you could get that you could say is easy, which is RB Leipzig. So if you had to choose any of the top teams, I will take PSG 10 times out of 10. They have shown in the past to be mentally weak and break in the Champions League.
Crumble, right?
They've shown that they could crumble. Their team probably has the least amount of winning experience in Champions League out of the rest of the top teams. Again, I'm talking about top teams. And when a team is attacking you the way Atalanta have, I don't think it's going to be as easy as they think. Now, I'm not saying Atalanta is going to go out there and win, but I'm just saying I don't think it's as bad as some people are making it out to seem.
And it's a one leg.
It's one leg.
It's one leg. Anything
No,
can happen
they're all
in
going to be
one
in
leg.
Portugal. It's random.
And you're forgetting also one thing. PSG has not played a competitive game since March.
Exactly. 5 to 6 months, PSG is going to be not playing because their league is out.
They'll
And I
play
know
friendlies probably, but not.
They have 2 friendlies with Celtic and with somebody else, but that doesn't matter. Friendlies don't count. And I know there's PSG fans that say that use that in their favor. In my opinion, it's not used in your favor. I don't think sitting out and not playing competitive
Yeah, it's
football
not good.
is good for
It's
you.
a rust
Some will
thing.
say, "Oh yeah, we're resting, so you're not gonna have injuries."
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like competitive spirit. I don't think it's as bad for Atalanta. The scary thing is they let in a lot of goals, and you're going against Neymar, Mbappe, Cavani, and Icardi.
They're two attacking
That's my
sides.
fear.
Dude,
That's my fear.
The thing is, they're two attacking
That's my
sides.
fear.
Yeah, but
the three-man back line
but
against
they
them.
were able to prove that they shut down Manchester
Man
City.
Yeah.
Okay, I was at that game. The first half, Man City could have easily scored 3 goals, but the second half, Man City didn't know what to expect, and that was a turning point for
But
Atalanta
also,
the
Man
whole
City,
season.
weren't they not playing?
I think they were winning
didn't-
already.
No.
They didn't need to
They,
win.
were, they didn't need to win? They weren't automatically in first?
No,
No?
They didn't. They weren't qualified from that game.
they had to win
Listen, Atalanta.
Man City.
to get first.
Man City
yeah.
had to win.
Yeah.
Atalanta is gonna face some rough reality against PSG.
I don't
But
think
they
so. I
have
think
nothing to
Icardi
lose.
is done.
Nobody thought that they were gonna get to this point.
Listen,
what do you have to
if
lose?
P-
You are so unfavored.
On a one-game
They're so
situation,
unfavored.
on a two-game situation, I see Atalanta is gonna
Really?
edge,
No, I
but
think
on
it's the
one-game
opposite.
I'd be scared if I was
situation-
PSG
I think it's the
too,
opposite.
Just
Well,
an underdog
that's the
story,
thing.
man.
PSG is really underrating. I've seen the reaction to it, which is
Probably,
crazy.
yeah.
And then we also have to say disrespect from CBS Sports. So I don't know if you watched the clip that I sent you. They were talking about the games, and I think they asked them who could be the surprise, and he brought up RB Leipzig, sorry. And he said he said not Atalanta because since the restart they haven't been good.
Oh my God, the guy must have been on drug. What
Now-
kind of a game is he watching? He's the best team in Europe.
Now,
Atalanta.
if you check the facts, Atalanta have played 6 games since the restart.
6 wins.
They've won 6 games. They've won 6 times. In their last 13 matches, in all competitions, Champions League included, they've won 12 out of them. So if you're calling the one draw the dip, that's your dip.
And he said Leipzig had a good record from this restart, and I think they only won 2 of those games.
It makes the thing is it's just
Wait.
I can understand if you don't know and you say, well, I don't really know Atalanta, I haven't watched a lot of them. Okay,
Yeah,
I could accept it.
exactly.
When you say something wrong
Stating it
and
like a
incorrect
fact, too.
about Atalanta, it just shows the Serie A disrespect that's constantly portrayed by the mainstream media. And now CBS, they're the next Champions League rights
Yeah,
holders.
exactly.
What an impression on your first go ahead. You have an obligation. It's not like IFTV. We're here and we're going to talk about Man City and we have something wrong. We try not to speak about things we don't know. But when you are the rights holders, you have an obligation, if you're going to state something,
to have knowledge
for it
the
to be
basics.
that and not disrespect Atalanta in that matter. And you know what gets me the most mad? I can accept a mistake. But you have to come out and admit it. Still, every single person messaging saying that's wrong, will not come out and say that they're wrong. That's my problem. That's my problem.
CBS, it's nothing but BS. Okay, first of all. Second of all, I want to ask you something.
How long did it take to come up with that?
This Atalanta and Atalanta against PSG, the fact that you play on a neutral stuff, so the goal differential will not count anymore.
No.
So
Yeah.
whoever scores, whoever wins,
One
wins.
game, that's it.
So what happened? Did you go to penalty, straight penalty, or you
Yeah,
go to
straight-
overtime?
Maybe
Should
they
be
might take the
overtime.
extra time out.
You
If they
sure?
don't, it'll
Can
go
you
down.
double
we don't
check? I
take
think it
overtime.
should be
Yeah,
extra
we're not.
time.
Should be
It
extra
should be
time.
extra
Should be extra time.
Okay,
But
so
they took it out for Coppa Italia. We'll probably stay for UEFA competition. So, it'll
so
probably be
we
extra.
go extra time and then penalty.
Yeah.
Well, on the penalty, who's the goalkeeper of PSG?
Navas, no?
Did
Yes.
you see the
Yeah,
starter?
Navas.
Mm,
Yeah.
well,
Listen, I don't think
Gollini is a good
But you're looking at the
Yeah,
penalties
you're
already.
looking-
Yeah,
Figure out the games.
Yeah.
There's-
Oh yeah, I'm watching ahead. I'm watching everything, Pete. Everything counts.
What do you guys think about the draw though? Overall, okay for Atalanta? Is it doable or is this
Atalanta,
Definitely
definitely.
doable.
I think it's a
They
50-50.
proved us wrong so
I would
much.
You think it's
say-
50-50?
I think it's 60-40 for PSG.
Okay, I would say
For the fact that you have a striking line
Yeah.
that is deadly.
Atalanta have proven that they can
I
play
hope
up.
I'm wrong.
They can play up against whoever.
that's true.
Then, as far as if the game goes in their favor or doesn't, only the game itself will tell us that. But Atalanta, they're not afraid to verse anyone. PSG could be, you can't say it's favorable, not favorable, but the fact that they're not playing competitive soccer, competitive football, and Atalanta's got a high, they've been on a high the whole season practically. They're going to be ready. And also, Atalanta is going to be rested because the last Serie A game is August 2nd. And the first game that they play is August 14th. So they're going to have 12 days to prepare for that game.
That's a
So
lot of time.
PSG, they can be rested, 6 months rested. But Atalanta is going to have 10 to 12 days where they're going to have themselves all set up.
Let's go to the next one. Napoli. Obviously, first of all, Napoli need to get over Barcelona first and foremost. It's a 1-1 draw. obviously with the favor towards Barcelona. What do we think about
Let me tell you
Napoli?
something. Okay, Napoli is one of those unpredictable teams, like AC Milan or like Atalanta. On a one-game situation, I mean, everybody's been affected.
Well,
Don't
this is
forget-
the second game.
Doesn't
It's
matter,
the
Marco.
reverse
We're
leg.
talking about on
I
the
was
camp,
just stating
on the
it.
Camp Nou that has no
That
spectators.
was it.
It doesn't
I
matter.
was just
Camp
stating
Nou
it.
has got no spectator. The environment that you're going to be facing
Well, they're not-
is not what
are
you
they
think
going to
it is. There is no loudness over there. You're going to see a bunch of fake
it's in the Camp
spectators. You're not going to see much going on over there. So it's going to be focus on you against, it's going to be strictly soccer. No spectator, no extra advantage, none of that stuff. Because believe it or not, the fact that you're playing away could make a huge difference. We're talking all the time of we're playing home or playing away. In this particular situation, nothing counts anymore.
And Barcelona is not in their greatest moments. Obviously, there's a long way to go. We don't know if they're going to win the league
But,
and this and that. But again, I think I was listening to Barcelona
I would give
TV, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're probably going to go past Napoli." It's just- I think that it's scary when you have a team that thinks like that. There's always the
I'll give Napoli 40%.
40%.
40%.
Not Barcelona's favorite to win. If they didn't have Messi, Suarez, all these guys,
Okay.
Griezmann, they're favorite to win. That being
3%.
said, this is another Napoli. This is not the Napoli that played them that
Insigne
first
just
game.
spends one of those,
But what I'm trying to say is that the problems that Napoli had seem to be very, very far away. If we remember the beginning of the season, the whole thing with De Laurentiis, the meltdown with the players, Ancelotti, in or out, whatever, Gattuso has completely changed that team and its mental approach. Okay? So we're looking at a Napoli team that's completely different than when they first versed Barcelona. And we're looking at a Barcelona team that are on
different,
path
that's true.
are on path to lose the La Liga after being on top the whole season. Okay? And they're 4 points away right now. And on top of that, Leo Messi just announced or whatever that they're not renewing for 2021. Everything is on hold right now. So all
They
that
officially
confusion,
said
yeah.
Oh.
They stopped negotiations after 2021. So as of right now, Messi could have the chance to leave 2021 free. So all
So
this
there's
confusion,
chaos
all
right
this
now,
stuff
right?
right now, Barcelona, this, I'm not saying it's gonna play a major factor because I hope Messi is professional enough that
Gonna go to
nothing
Conte,
bothers
gonna
him.
play for
I hope
Conte.
he's
We
not.
actually want him
But-
to be
I
bothered.
hope he's
think
not.
We want him to be bothered.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is all these things
Bubbling her up, right?
have been coming up, and there's a lot to question Barcelona right now. The coach
At
is
the end,
is
not
disaster.
is a disaster, and the players don't want to play for him.
exactly.
Griezmann's not getting on the pitch. Why isn't Griezmann? So everything
And
that
Messi does not look like he likes.
That's what I
looks like
said,
Barcelona's about to implode.
40%
I'm
chance.
with you.
Gattuso could
I'm
get
with
the
you.
final needle
I'm
on
with
that.
you. I'm with you on that. And then
40%.
the only thing is that if Napoli go through, you're playing against Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich is one of the hottest teams in Europe.
Hey, but you know what? You said it.
I agree.
One
I know.
game,
Anything can happen.
I know.
Yeah.
roll
I'm
the
just-
dice.
I'm just stating. Who,
But
who they
Napoli's
would.
been in pretty good form.
But okay,
lately,
you got to focus on the
for
first one.
most
They
part.
get out Barcelona, you never know what could happen in the next round.
Yeah.
Juventus, first off, they need to get past Lyon, which are down 2-1 in.
1-0.
And the match is actually going to be.
1-0. 1-0.
1-0.
Is it 1-0?
Yeah, it's
Alright.
1-0.
Why did I think
I'm
2-1?
positive.
Whatever, one goal.
Playing in Torino.
They're playing in Torino. This game is going to be in Torino on August 7th. Have to go through Lyon. There's no ifs, ands, and buts around
They
it.
better.
If you got out to Lyon,
Yeah,
that's it.
that's-
Sayonara.
Let me tell you
Goodbye
something.
to everything.
How many chances you give Juventus to go through?
They should. They
80
should have
85.
70%.
70%?
I think
At
more
least.
than that.
I would say 60. 60 would be a stretch.
Okay. And then if Juventus, let's just say
Stretch.
if Juventus do go through, since we're saying all these ifs,
Yeah.
they would play one of Real Madrid or Manchester City, which I know a lot of people are looking at this and like, oh my God, you got to play Real Madrid or Man City. I like it. I like it a lot. Number one, if you're out there and you're scared of any of these teams with the team that Juventus has, you don't belong in Champions League. That's number one. I want to get the best teams.
Who do you prefer?
Real Madrid.
Man City or
Real Madrid. I want Real Madrid.
Without Sergio Ramos, they'll take it.
No.
he's gonna
Sergio
play
Ramos will be
there.
there for the
Yeah,
next
he's
one.
gonna be there
I
for
want
that
Real
one.
Madrid because I want revenge. And I think Real Madrid's a harder team to play. I know Man City's more informed,
You guys got
but
beef.
history will matter.
got beef.
And Real Madrid in Champions League are a different beast. And I want Ronaldo
One
to
leg.
knock out his former team.
That'd be
That's what I
interesting.
want. And I'm gonna go on record. I'm gonna be bold right now. You see, I don't like to play this middle ground. One second.
What kind of a crack you been smoking lately?
You're gonna find out after the
Why
next
is it
thing
so
that I
crazy?
say.
It's not that crazy.
I'm going to be bold right now because I don't like to stay in the middle. I don't like to be, oh, look, at least I wasn't wrong. I want to go on record and say it now. If two conditions, if Juventus go through Lyon, and if a few key players stay healthy for Juventus, De Ligt, Ronaldo, Dybala, etc. A few others. What?
They're going to win the Champions League.
Juventus will win the Champions League.
Man.
Well, how many games will
Juventus
it be after?
will win
It's two.
the Champions
It's
League.
3 games.
what
I got
if
Doesn't
they-
matter.
What if they don't? You're going
not
to take
that
us to
crazy.
which restaurant you're going to take us?
McDonald's.
It's not that crazy
So
of a thing, though.
it's not that crazy.
Oh.
Okay, so are Juventus going to win the Champions League?
I mean,
who's
they
winning the
could.
Champions? Who's winning the Champions League? I know you could. Anyone could. That's what I'm saying.
But you're making it seem like I'm going out. I was like,
Okay,
we gotta
okay.
see them.
Hold on.
Who's won?
Nobody speak. Who's winning the Champions League? Give your
If I had
opinion
to
right
give
now.
one,
Bayern is winning.
Who's winning it?
I'll give it I'll throw
Bayern.
Atalanta in there if we're playing.
Atalanta's winning the Champions League.
Atalanta's
Bayern
winning
against
the
Atalanta.
Who's winning the
But it's
Champions
not
League?
that crazy
Who's winning
for
the
Juve.
Champions
They were
League?
one of the
Bayern.
favorites
Who's winning
to
the
win
Champions
it.
League?
It's not that
Bayern.
crazy.
Champions League. Who's winning the Champions League?
Forza Dea, baby. Let's go.
I don't know. I gotta see how.
Okay, so on this side, if Juventus would win, right, they would play Man City, whatever. The next one that Juventus would have to play is what? Is between if Napoli, they're in the same side as Napoli, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea, which is beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. And then you will go to the final. Now, this is where it gets interesting for Atalanta. Atalanta are on the side with obviously PSG. If they will go through PSG, they play one of RB Leipzig and Atletico. Let's just say Atletico. So it will be Atalanta against Atletico. Winner goes to the final.
I said
All
Hold
Italian
on.
final,
Guys.
baby.
Listen to me.
Atalanta are 3
Listen
games from
to
a
me.
Champions League
Atalanta
final.
versus
3
Juve,
games
UCL final.
Champions League
Let's go.
final.
I told this punk it's going to be Bayern against Atalanta. Bayern.
You're
the
saying
final.
that? You're going on record.
Bayern against Atalanta.
And then you're saying Bayern wins?
I will wait.
You just said Bayern were going to win.
Yeah, I want to see how many red cards. Which team gets a red card?
Red cards? Where does
key
that
players-
come from?
If Lewandowski is not there, then Bayern is there. Then Bayern is gonna have the win.
What would be what's the bigger achievement? Leicester winning the league or Atalanta winning
I
Champions
would
League?
say I would say Atalanta because you're facing the biggest team on the world.
Yeah, let's
Champions
go with
League
that.
is hard. Look
Let's
at
go with
Juventus.
Atalanta.
Juventus can't win a Champions League
Juventus.
in a long
Listen to
time.
me. No, you said that's,
He was just saying.
that's
okay.
the other question. Listen,
He wasn't saying it like that.
Listen to me. The question that
Oh,
everybody should be asking yourself is this: if you guys fail, either at the Campionato or in the Champions League, you fail badly. How many weeks you have to make the move on the bench, whether to get a new coach or to get new players or to adjust what you need to do for the season that is about to start 3 weeks after that?
Well, this is a problem.
Let's go to our audio only version, guys. Head on over Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Head on over right now. Alex9 Fenomeno said, I do a shot every time Antonio mentions Conte's salary or Lautaro's price tag, and now I'm in the ICU with alcohol poisoning. Antonio, are you going to pay my medical bill?
So
Gijo asks Antonio, if Louis Vuitton would buy Milan, but there is one condition, Sarri has to coach Milan for 1 season, would you accept it or would you rather keep Elliot as the ownership of Milan? Gijo, this is a great
That's
question.
a big one, Anto.
Gijo, great question.
Don't make any mistakes here, Anto. Everyone.
Well, listen to those backstabbers. They a bunch of bastards.
That